Today we are going to discuss Sigmund Freud's 5 psychosexual stages of development. Freud believed that personality development occurs in a series of psychosexual stages that are determined by the developing sexuality of the child. At each stage, there is a different erogenous zone or the area of the body that produces pleasurable feelings, becomes important and can become the source of conflicts. Conflicts that are not fully resolved can result in fixation or getting stuck to some degree in a stage of development. The child may grow into an adult but will still carry emotional and psychological baggage from that earlier fixated stage. The following are the 5 stages. The first stage is the oral stage. It is at the first 18 months. This first stage is called the oral stage because the erogenous zone is the mouth. The conflict that can arise here, according to Freud, will be over weaning, taking the mother's breast away from the child. Weaning that occurs too soon or too late can result in too little or too much satisfaction of the child's oral needs. Fixation at the oral stage leads to development of oral personality traits. There are 2 types of oral personalities. First is oral receptive personality and the second is oral aggressive personality. Oral receptive personality is a personality type which occurs when a person enjoys too much or over involvement with respect to sucking and swallowing. The oral receptive personality seeks pleasure through overeating, smoking, and by other oral means. The second is oral aggressive personality. When oral needs are frustrated during the oral stage of psychosexual development, an individual develops oral aggressive personality. In this personality type, an individual seeks aggressive pleasure through the mouth. He or she becomes verbally hostile to others and may indulge in abusive and rude language. The second stage is the anal stage. It is at 18 to 16 months. As the child becomes a toddler, Freud believed that the erogenous zone moves from the mouth to the anus because he also believed that children got a great deal of pleasure from both withholding and releasing their feces at will. This stage is therefore called the anal stage. Freud thought that the main area of conflict here is the toilet training, the demand that the child use the toilet at a particular time in a particular way. It is at this stage that for the first time a child encounters conflict, for he or she learns that he or she could regulate his or her instinctual desires in accordance with social norms. Fixation in anal stage can result into 2 types of personality. First is anal expulsive personality and second is anal retentive personality. An individual is said to have an anal expulsive personality when he has experienced harsh toilet training. Such an individual shows the traits of being messy, destructive, and hostile. An anal expulsive personality is broadly defined as exhibiting cruelty and emotional outbursts. Anal retentive personality is a person who is fixated at anal stage through harsh toilet training may also show such kind of personality. Such an individual is neat and stubborn. The person is generally stubborn and a perfectionist. The third stage is the phallic stage. It is from 3 to 6 years. As the child grows older, the erogenous zone shifts to the genitals. Children have discovered the differences between the sexes by now, and most have also engaged in masturbation or self-pleasuring. This awakening of sexual curiosity and interest in the genitals is the beginning of what Freud termed the phallic stage. Freud believed that when boys realized that the girls have no penis, they developed a fear of losing the penis called the castration anxiety, while girls developed penis envy because they were missing a penis. Here we have to understand there are two important concepts in the phallic stage. First is the Oedipus complex. Here a boy feels an unconscious desire for his mother and jealousy or rivalry toward his father. This complex typically occurs during the phallic stage of psychosexual development, which happens between the ages of 3 and 6. The second important term is the Electra complex. It involves a girl's unconscious desire for her father and feelings of rivalry with her mother during the phallic stage of development. Fixation in the phallic stage usually involves immature sexual attributes as an adult. People who are fixated in this stage, according to Freud, will often exhibit promiscuous social behavior and be very vain. The vanity is seen as a cover up for feelings of low self worth arising from failure to resolve the problem. The fourth stage is the latency stage. By the end of phallic stage, children have pushed their sexual feelings for the opposite sex into the unconscious through repression. From age 6 to the onset of puberty, children will remain in this stage of hidden or latent sexual feelings. So this stage is called latency. In this stage, children grow and develop intellectually, physically, and socially, but not sexually. This is at this stage at which boys plays with boys and girls play with only girls, and each thinks that the opposite sex is pretty awful. During the latency period, sexual energy is sublimated and converted into socially valued activities. The last stage is the genital stage. When puberty does begin, the sexual feelings that were once repressed can no longer be ignored. Bodies are changing and sexual urges are once more allowed into consciousness. But these urges will no longer have the parents as their targets. Instead, the focus of sexual curiosity and attraction will become other adolescents and celebrities. During this stage, an individual tries to establish lasting relationships. Since Freud tied personality development into sexual development, the genital stage represented the final process in Freud's personality theory as well as entry into adult social and sexual behavior.